Hi everybody, this is Davina from Teacher Success Coach. Yes. What's your day been like? And what are you grateful for? What's your win? And basically how things have been going all day. Right, I'm grateful for lots of stuff. As usual, I'm grateful for my bed. I'm grateful for my family. Sorry. I'm also grateful for the school I'm in. As I said, it's about half an hour roughly from my house to the school on one bus. And if the traffic is good, which means that it takes less than half an hour. This morning I got the bus at 29 minutes past 7, and it was fantastic because I got to school before 8. So that was quite a nice journey this morning, and it enabled me to go into my classroom, set up my classroom, like put my music on, put my my daily coats on, so when the students come in, I'm ready. It's not when they come in, I actually have to go and pick them up in the playground, right? Because I'm a tutor for year 10. So as a result of that, I've gone at the days when I actually just go straight to my classroom and stay there, because I've always had a year 12 and 13 group for tutor, as a tutor group to those groups. But now I'm a tutor group to year 10. And with that group, you have to go and pick them up outside in the playground. So that's what I've been doing for the last, week and a half, etc., since I've been at that school. My year 10, some of them, the behavior is all over the place. That school doesn't have a behavior issue per se, but the year 10 will try it. Today I send one of them out of my class. I say, step out and stay out. Because constant talking, the behavior is not great. The behavior issue is not a big issue, but the frustrating thing is the continuous chatting. You're trying to explain something to them, they're chatting. You move them, they're still finding someone to talk to. So I actually had enough today. So I sent one of them out, he stayed out, and then another one, I sent that one to join him. And I'm actually giving 5 of them detention for disrupting the session, because we're doing PSHE, and it meant that I constantly had to stop to talk to them. So that was an issue for me. So that was one of the negative things today with my year 10 group, in terms of the continuous chatting. It's not huge behavior issue, but continuous talking while you're trying to teach the rest of them could be very disruptive. Right, so that's why I'm grateful for, the fact that I'm in a school close to home. That's beautiful. The school is quite nice actually, in terms of where we are within the academic level. One of the challenges I have right now is the resources. They've got minimum resources because when they give you the resources in a bag, like they seems to assume the amount of resource you need. 3 markers, 3 board markers. 3 board markers isn't enough for me, right? I'm not too sure how often they give the resources, but 3 board marker when I'm doing group work exercise, that doesn't work. So luckily I've always bought my own whiteboard markers, so that's no problem. Yeah, so that's basically what I'm grateful for. Plus I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for life, because today I've seen another day. Today I was able to do the things that we didn't finish doing yesterday, in terms of presentation for my year 11 and my year 13s. So those are the things I'm grateful for. Something else which was quite interesting today, I was a little bit late in coming down to my class, because I had double lessons all day, most of the day. I had double first 2, doubles 3 and 4. I also had a single and a last one. So I taught for 6 lessons today, 6 hours, back on back. It's exhausting. But at the same time, the way I teach, in terms of chunks, it wasn't too bad, but it's still exhausting. I've never taught in any establishment that I teach back to back. And I seem to have 3 days where I teach back to back. And today, there's one day when I have one lesson, so the rest of the day is free. So I suppose that's the way you compensate for it. So as I was saying, I came down late from break time, and I saw some of my students, my year 13, standing outside, saying to them, I said, what's the matter with you guys? I said, you guys are so excited that I'm not there. They said, no, miss, we were worried because we were wondering where you were, because I'm really looking forward to, they said, they're really looking forward to psychology. I said, They said, yes, miss, it's my favorite subject because we really get to discuss and debate. That's quite interesting. Normally when I started school, it would take me about 4 to 5 weeks, sometime longer, before the students actually come on board. So the last school I was in, one group, it took them about from January, February, March, 3 months to actually start realizing how I'm teaching making sense to them. There was so resistance to embracing that, yes, that method work. But so it is. So that's what happened to my year 13, saying to me, oh, they thought I wasn't there, so they were worried and excited because they really liked the lessons, etc. And that's quite nice because it made me feel, whoa, I'm actually doing something. Because actually when I test them out after my lesson, I realized, yes, they've actually, retained information. So that's good. One of the things for me as an educator, there's sometimes, I would say 90% of the time, we need to find out from our student what works best for them. Too often we assume that certain way we teach them work best. And if you're not really, connecting with psychology, etc., that sometimes you don't know how the brain works and how to connect with it. Some teachers feel it's okay to give students worksheet. Worksheet does not work. It's boring. It's not engaging the student a lot. I would say use worksheet for, when you're actually trying to test them, to test knowledge, but using worksheet as a tool for teaching, ask students about it. They'll tell you how boring it is. Because one school I worked in 2 years ago, I didn't even realize that I was meant to use a booklet to teach psychology, because I came in and I was doing mind map, PowerPoint, group discussion. And when the teacher who I was covering for, she came back halfway through. And one of the lessons, she said to me, oh, miss, how, did you get a worksheet? Did you get a booklet? And I said to her, no. I said, oh, that's what the student was talking about. Because one student mentioned is, oh, miss, I'm so happy you're not doing the booklet. I didn't even know what that student was talking about. Because she said that the booklet is quite boring. When I relayed that to the teacher, she said, oh my goodness, I really thought they were enjoying the booklet. She said, okay, I'm glad that you haven't used it, so I'm going to stop using it. So there's sometimes we need to find out from students how they're engaging with our lesson, right? And the times we need to start observing it, because booklet is not the most enjoyable tool for students, because they just sit there as robots and just copy things down. I've used all the methods I possibly can in terms of teaching, and the one I feel work best is mind map, discussion, using colors, getting students to be very interactive, so therefore they participate in the session, they teach the rest of the class, they present. It actually makes them remember when they have to research the work and then teach it to the group. Because as a result of going and finding information and they have to teach it, that's how you learn. You teach what you know. So as a teacher, when you're actually teaching, in order to increase your knowledge of a subject, you need to teach it, right? When I say teach what you know, it's like, when you know this subject, you will teach it. And that's how I get my student to interact. So I get them to prepare the presentation and then teach it to the rest. I fill in the gaps because, yeah, obviously there would be gaps. But at the same time, they have an opportunity to learn, remember, and teach it to the peers. So educators out there, there's sometimes, I would say 90% of the time, you find out from your student what works. Because sometimes you might be using a teaching tool and the students are not engaging, or it appears as if they're engaging, but they're not, and they're not really enjoying it, nor are they learning from it. there's sometimes we have to put ourselves in our students' position and say, okay, if someone was teaching me this way, how would I feel? Would I really enjoy it? Would I learn anything? So there's sometimes you need to turn the table around. But unfortunately, a lot of educators are so set in their ways and so programmed and conditioned that they feel that their way is the best without asking the student. They assume because the student taking notes, it works. It doesn't always work. We need to tap into them. Right. Today I also, because I usually teach with background music, sometimes classical music and sometimes just calming music. Calming music, which might be, waves, which might be birds singing, whatever. So today, halfway through my year 13, because I had 2 year 13 groups today, I had the music on, but then when I switched off the register, when I saved the register and switched it off, the music went off. And I was busy talking to them. And one student said, Miss, where's the music? I said, what are you talking about? She said, there's no music. She said, I really enjoy the music because it really makes me calm. And that's another plus for me as well, because calming music really calms the student down. It really does. And there's sometimes it takes a while for them to connect with it, but overall, calming music really start to, working on the student. It really calms them down. And me as a teacher, oh my goodness, it calms me down. It's enjoyable. It's, you're able to reflect, etc. So it was interesting when the students were asking for the calming music today. So that was interesting. Another group came in quite late. My last session, because I finished at 4:15 today. And they're saying to me, oh, they're commuting, which means they're coming from one side to the other because the school has two big sides. Because it's a very big school. And when they came, I had the quote on the board. But I taught her, when I said, oh, miss, we missed the quote. I said, no, you didn't. I said, oh, I didn't realize you guys are connecting. Yes. They missed the quote because, I would have a quote on the board and they would actually talk about it. So today we spoke about it, etc. And they felt part of it. One of the beautiful things in terms of teaching, yes, teaching is tiring, teaching is stressful, but as educators, we need to make it less stressful and less tiring and less challenging. It depends on how we approach with our students and the tools we use in our classroom. Because for me, hey, I don't like a lot of stress. I'm making sure I use whatever tools in my toolbox to minimize the stress with my students. In terms of calming music, I know it works, so therefore I'm going to use it. I know in terms of, group exercise and mind map, etc. works, I'm going to use it. I know reading the quotes on the board and then getting them to reflect and talk about it, I know that works, I'm going to use it. I know stretching and getting them to move around in order to circulate the oxygen around the brain, etc. I know that work, I'm going to use it. I know when I actually give them a brain break, because I could see that they're tired, they're switching off, etc. There's no point in me saying to students, oh, engage, etc. No. It's a time for brain break. So therefore, I know those tools work because I've been using them for a while. So I'm going to use it to have minimum stress in my life. I want students to have a really happy and enjoyable session. And if it means me doing all of those things, I'm prepared to do that. I'm not saying it's easy. It's not easy because you have to, it's like making sure all of those things are on. Yes, it works for my student and it's going to work for me because it means that I finish my lesson really calm. About my year 11, yes, I started the music, but then I forgot the music wasn't on. And that was one of the issue with my year 11 because they were so hype and that was after lunch. So that I know that for a fact. After lunch, students come back to you, they're always hype from lunchtime. So that's the reason why I always put the music on, but I put the music on today, but then something happened and I was having problem with the computer, etc. because I was trying to play a video, so that got lost. So I think that could be one of the reasons why my year 11 behavior was, like that. They were very, very chatty and all of that because all that hype was from lunchtime. Anyway, guys, identify what your win is, identify what you're grateful for. And educators out there, we need to start making life for us enjoyable and easy So anything you have in your toolbox, you need to try it to see if it works. And if it worked for you, I would say run with it. Because as educators, we need to make sure that we are less stressed. Because a lot of time we take in work home to mark. That's one of the profession where the work doesn't stay at work. Sometimes the work come home with us. So in order to minimize the stress level when the work come home with you, you need to make sure that there are a number of things you do at work so that it makes life easy for you. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for listening. Take care, stay blessed, and I see you guys possibly tomorrow or next week. Take care. Thanks a lot for listening. Bye-bye.